Our next guest went directly from high school to the NBA to a Hall of Fame career in basketball. He is a 15-time All-Star, an NBA champion, and MVP too. His new memoir is called KG A to Z. Please welcome Kevin Garnett. Hi, Kevin.
How you doing, Jimmy?
I'm doing well. I love your book.
You, man. Thank you, man. Thank you.
You know what?
Appreciate it.
I mean, there's great stories in the book, but I love the way you set it up because you know how, like, you go in the index of a book just to see the stuff that you want to see? Your whole book is that, basically. It's like you just turn to any letter and you see what you want to see. And congratulations.
I tried.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Thank you. No. I was just saying I was trying to make it simple for people to follow. That's all.
You did. You made it simple for dopes like me. And I have to say, I went to J and I went to K and I didn't see anything about me in here.
Well, I'm also a dope, too, so I got to fix it.
And congratulations on the Hall of Fame. I know you're in it, but you've not been inducted yet because obviously things have been pushed a bit. But that's, I mean, that's great, right? I mean, that's got to be the best.
It's the best, Jimmy. I don't need to be inducted. I felt like to be able to celebrate with everybody and have a big ceremony in these times is a bit extra. So
yeah.
The fact that I've made it, I feel like I've already shined myself, put it like that.
If there was a trash talking Hall of Fame, you would probably be in that too, correct?
You think so?
You know, it's funny because I don't really know. I mean, I have a pretty good idea that you would be, but it's kind of like a secret in a way because we can't really hear all of what's going on. But you do hear stories, and you do have some great stories. And I know you've done there's a lot of funny interviews with like Craig Sager and that kind of stuff. But trash talk is, you actually have rules, 3 rules for proper trash talk, correct?
I do, man. I do. I think, well, first off, thank you, because to be able to trash talk, you have to have the ability to trash talk, which means you got to be able to back it up. You can't start trash talk and stop. That's one thing you can't do. You can't start talking and then, because, you know, we have a saying in the league that you let some sleeping dogs lie. And, you know, I am a product of that. And I use Michael Jordan as an example.
Yeah.
One night, I'm young. I'm 19 years old. I'm in the league. I'm fresh. I graduated out of high school in Chicago, so we come back. We play the Bulls. My friend was in a terrible car crash. I had no sleep. I was just running on fumes, and I was playing great. Probably the best I've ever played in my life at this point, right? And it's against the Bulls, and J.R. Ryder is having an unbelievable game too, and I'm just feeling 19. I'm like, yeah, keep going, killing him, ooh, and. In the short form of it, Jimmy, I woke up a sleeping dog, you know, and it wasn't pleasant.
That
and,
dog being Michael Jordan?
That big dog named Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
And he bit. He bites and he bit hard. And I kind of got like a warning shot, but I didn't really take warning to the warning shot. And it just turned bad, Jimmy. It turned really bad, and it turned bad quick, Jimmy.
JR told you not to do it?
JR told me just to calm down. He's like, okay, yeah, I'm having a good game, but chill. You know, he right here, he can hear you. I'm like, okay, so keep going. It was kind of like rules. It was kind of like a respect rules thing, an underlining rule thing that you're supposed to value. But like all young people, you know, I was young and I was going with spirit and passion, and yeah, it got me bitten in the ass.
Is this something like that Michael remembers, or is this something that is burned only into your brain?
Well, I like to think that it's definitely burnt into my brain, but wherever I see Jordan, he always does the same thing every time. He palms my head and he says, you remember I gave you 40 3/4? And I was like, man, go ahead. And then he has like this sidekick of people around him. He's like, hey, pull that up. And then the guy goes and pulls it up. And I'm like, what is this? Who walks around with them? This is really Jordan Brand. Who walks around with content? Like teed up, like what? Yeah, it was an experience in which I quit talking trash to Michael.
Michael has a guy who walks around with highlights packages. That is...
Already teed up, Jimmy. I couldn't believe it. It was a true Jordan Brand moment. Shout out to Michael Jordan, though, man.
You write about your good friend Kobe Bryant in this book, and you guys were very close. You both, one thing you guys had in common is you love to get booed on the road.
Yeah, that was kind of the thing to get, yeah. Because you know what? As much as people love you, the booing is an extra love. It's like it's like a reverse love to me. So the
Yeah.
harder you booed, I was like, wow, I must have did something to really piss these people off. Seriously. So, you know, booing used to give me extra energy. I was never lack of energy, but, you know, San Antonio is real memorable when you come in because they had a player there. We played the same position, Tim Duncan, and they used to boo the crap out of me, throw tacos and just be pouring in. And I loved every second of it.
You have a very Kobe story about an experience you had with Kobe and Gary Payton.
I do. Gary Payton is probably one of the best players to ever pick up a basketball.
Especially defensively. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He was probably one of the better defensive players who had offense. And Kobe just pulled him to the side as we was leaving shoot around, and there's a bunch of people around. And he just asked him something very simple. And he was like, "Come here, I'm gonna show y'all something. Come here." And he just put us into this session, and it got really serious. And we got for real for about like 30 minutes. And he was like, "Don't show nobody my move. I'm serious. If I see you teaching somebody my move, I'm gonna have some problems with you." And he was like, all right. Well, don't tell anybody about the move. Like, wow. But Kobe and I felt like privileged. Like, wow, he really took his time and took us through. And, you know, we kind of went over it. And as a young player, bro, like, that's everything for vets to be able to take time for you, set aside time and show you something. And I remember coming off of the NBA break, and we was going back into our regular season, the second half of the season. I seen Kobe use it. I said, I saw you use Gary Payton. I saw you. You said you saw it. I saw it. I said, we're not supposed to be talking about that, but it was a great time. Kobe was one of my dear friends. Gary Payton, dear friends. I consider them family.
Well, there's some great stories about all of that in this book. We'll be back more with Kevin Garnett when we come back. Kevin Garnett is with us. This is his new book. Kevin, your family, you come from a really spirited family. Is that a good way of describing them?
To say the least, yes.
Tell the story about your grandma and when the college recruiter came to your house when you were in high school.
Well, I was very, very heavily recruited in high school. And at this time, because everyone was coming to my home and had my address, I kind of moved my grandmother for a while. And it was a new experience. And I don't know how this one recruiter found my grandmother's house, but it was weird because he had his lights low and it was really creepy. And it's not the best neighborhood, but you know, he popped out and he said, "Hey, Kevin, can I show you something, old lady?" Like, what the hell? It was, you know, a surreal moment. You know, kind of got to the front porch, and he came to the porch and he had a bag. He was right on the front porch so fast that I couldn't really react. And I saw who it was. I was like, "Oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, come on in. Let you meet my grandmother." And he put the bag down. He's kind of like, "Yeah, you know, if we want you, zip it." And he opened it up as he was talking. I just saw money. And my grandma was kind of standing there. I said, "Grandma, this is such and such from woo woo." And she was like, "Okay, yeah." How it is? She saw the bag of money and kind of left the room. So I really didn't know. I was going so fast. I was like, "Wow, what is this?" He was like, "Yo, if you want to, you know, come to the university, we can do this right now. Here's the whatever." And I heard something go, what sounded like a door opening and closing. If you ever heard a shotgun been put together, you know the click and you know what I'm saying? I was like, hold on, that sounds like, man, what, man, really? And I saw the nose of the gun come out. I was like, "Yo, you got to get this and get out of here." And I picked the money up. It was the big bag, and I threw it in his chest, and I kind of walked him backwards and like threw him out, like kind of out the door. And I just slammed it. It had like a screen that, you know, in the South you have screen and bars. So I shut the bars and I slammed the door. And she was like, "You got 30 seconds to get your company out of here, son." I was like, "Okay, Grandma, I got it." "You got 29 seconds to get your company out." And I was like, "Okay, so you got to get out of here." So needless to say, I saved that guy's life. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
she told me
you saved his life.
And she told me to never sell myself for anything. She said, "Don't you ever, you sell yourself once, you can be sold twice." So I like to, you know, my grandma was looking out.
Yeah, really. Can I tell you, my grandmother would have taken that bag and headed right to bingo. There would have been no hesitation.
It was you know what? I was thinking someone along the lines of that, but I was like, nah.
Yeah.
Shotgun, you kind of forget about bingo, Jimmy.
Yeah. So one of the many interesting things we learn about you in this book, maybe the most surprising thing that I learned about you in this book, is that you are a big fan of Kenny G's music.
Huge fan. Huge fan.
Have you met Kenny G?
I've never met Kenny G, but I like the fact that he's a KG, so that means something to me. Feel me?
Well, it's interesting you'd say that because Kevy G, I would like to introduce you to Kenny G. Kenny G.
Oh, excuse me.
Brother! Brother!
How you doing, bro?
How are you? Hey.
I feel like the brothers from another mother, except you got the hair.
I know. I've got the hair. You got the height.
Look at this, man. You're ageless, man. You still look like Kenny G. I can't forget. Oh, my God. What is...
Hey, thank you so much for the wonderful things you said about me in your book. I really appreciate that.
Kenny, man, your music got me through so many tough times in my life, man. It inspired me. It helped me. I'm a huge DMX fan. I used to listen to, if you know what DMX sounds like, it's, you know, it's through the, you know?
Yeah.
And I didn't have any balance in my life. And I like to think that Kenny G gave me great balance, man. So thank you very much. Seriously.
You gave one of the greatest athletes of all time balance, Kenny.
Oh, my gosh, man.
It's my pleasure. I mean, if I can help you, man, that means a lot to me. In fact, if you don't mind, can I do something now?
Are you serious, dog? Oh, man, look at what is going on. I'm in sweating. Look at this.
This is for you, KG.
I appreciate it, Kenny.
Well, if this isn't the weirdest thing that's ever happened on this show.
It's gotta be, dog. I really
Kenny G, thank you so much for serenading Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett, thank you for being with us. This is his book, KG A to Z. It is available now. We'll be right back with music from Toby Wigway. Thanks, Kenny. Thanks, Kevin.
Kenny, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Kimmel. An evil wizard has trapped me inside this YouTube video. Click subscribe to help me escape.